Good afternoon. May you believe in
Well,
freedom, not rest until freedom comes. Hey, this is your host, Rev Walden.
what?
I joy to be on the air. Gee, it's so good to be on the air right now. Also, before we get started, I want to thank a lot of people. I want to thank the Virtuous Healing Circles, virtuoushealing.com, and also this will be a podcast later on. And I just like to get started here with Mr. Rye here. He's always on on the forefront of everything that's going on, not only in Seattle but around the world. How you do, Mr. Rye? I know that you are doing something really important right now, but I thought you had something you wanted to say. I don't think he hears us right now. All right, then. So we'll just go ahead over to Clarence then. Hi, Clarence.
Good morning. How are you, Reverend Walden?
Oh, I'm fine. Good afternoon. I'm fine. I'm really good today, and I'm glad to see you. I'm gonna cut down my volume right now. I'm glad that you're here, so you can give us an update about what's going on with the retired firefighters and the ones who got the jobs not only because of affirmative action, but because of the work that you all did before.
Well, great. And just to bring you up to date on what happened since last Friday, on last Friday, we were in the court and we were anticipating a ruling from the court as to whether or not the property would be rescinded that was illegally sold. And what happened was the attorneys for the plaintiff and attorneys for the company that sold the house, they had presentations that they had to make along with our attorneys. So she really did that as a gathering of all the information from all the parties that are concerned. And once that was done, then she said she would take under consideration everything that she had heard on Friday, and that she would definitely give us a answer next Monday, which is May the 12th, and it would be a written answer, so we don't have to go into the courthouse itself to see it, but it would be a written answer coming from the court. And we are positively thinking and praying that it will be an affirmative answer, indicating that the house will be rescinded.
Wow. Well, you know what? I'm praying for that also because I think it's going to take a lot of prayer because this is taking way too long to get it through
Absolutely.
yet, way too long. And sometimes when it takes that long, you kind of know that. I won't bring that in because I've been through this a lot of times. But yeah, this is interesting, and I see that Roberto is here. I mean, he's on here, so he might have something to add on to this.
Yes.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thanks for having us on, Reverend. Um, for me, I just want to thank the public for their support in this effort. This has been an ongoing deal for now 3 years. It's almost unbelievable, but this has been going on for 3 years since they tried to sneak and sell the house by putting a for sale sign in the yard and not letting anybody know about it. The four of them, the executive board, and not even telling the current black firefighters that the house was for sale. They tried their best to sneak in there and do that and use Carmen Gate as the real estate agent to be able to do that. Doug Johnson was the culprit's name. He was the one that brought genesis to the whole deal as to sell the house. And we don't know why, and we don't know what their plan was for the money once they stole it. All we know is that the house was bought and paid for twice by the now retired black firefighters, and he took it upon himself to try to get his executive board to do it. So once again, I'd just like to say thank you to the public for their support, for showing up at the court out in Kent and supporting us that way. The well wishes that we've had individually when we talk to people. The current black firefighters are saying that they're hearing about this when they go on runs and they see people out in the streets, and not just black folks but white folks also, about how they try to essentially steal the house and get it sold for the money. But to thank you for your support. Hang in there with us. It's been a long deal, 3 years, as I said, it went by kind of fast, but you're right. It's taken a long time, but I guess that's the way that justice is. Sometimes it takes a while to give everybody their chance to get their say in, to be able to do what they're doing. Especially when you're trying to let folks know about the shady and underhanded stuff that the four of them were trying to do, kicking the retired black firefighters out of the organization. We've had some firefighters that are current, that are in the organization, dues are paid and everything else like that, and kick them out of the organization just to be doing it. It's a Trump move, pretty much. It's a Trump move. And we just, as I said, just thanking everybody for their support and hang in there with us. And hopefully on the 12th, we'll have some good news for everybody.
Wow.
Rev Harriett, this is Eddie Rye.
Yes, sir. Go ahead.
And I was in the court last Friday as well. And one of the things that stood out to me is that the attorney for the sellers indicated that 60 members of the Seattle Black Firefighters Association had voted to sell the house. And I'm thinking that that's not, I've heard from some of the folks that wasn't that many people there. And I really suggested to Clarence and Roberto, they get the attorney to request the minutes of the meeting and also the attendees of the meeting, because I think the man is exaggerating. And I was looking at the judge, and she was really buying in fact, 60 people, 60 members voted for this sale. So by her nodding in the affirmative, I just thought it was very imperative that the attorney and the retired members request the minutes and the people who participated. Because if there wasn't that many people, then somebody's telling a lie. So thank you.
Wow, seems like somebody's been telling a lie all the time, and that's just a terrible thing that's going on right now. And I did hear somebody talk about the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue people. So it does sound like the 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue that the people would be doing this in this time in America. So, this is just so interesting that it's almost like as the world turns. It's like a soap opera right now. So yeah, go ahead, Haywood.
Yeah, if I may, Reverend Walden, was that a written vote or was that just a hand count? I'd be very interested to see if they kept any kind of records on actually who voted. And something this serious seems like it'd be written. Each person would have to
That's
submit.
the information that we had requested, which did not receive. But what we did understand from a couple of people who were there, that it was just an executive board decision, and most of the membership does not know, as Roberto was saying, about what's going on and are not participating, as the retired firefighters have been barred, so have most of the membership from taking a legal vote.
Well, as Eddie alluded to, that's far from 60. I mean,
for one thing, the organization does not have 60 members that are members of the Seattle Black Firefighters Association. There may be 60 black firefighters, but they all aren't members of the organization. And that would mean 100% of the people would have had to vote, and that did not happen.
Well, this might lead for a change on how organizations are ran. I mean, because really, this is a landmark case as far as I know about things. Sounds to me like a landmark case that one group of people is just doing something that they really don't have any right to do, and this might lead to something else. Some changes on how these organizations can be ran, and stricter guidelines, and those kinds of things. So that's what I think.
Yeah. It further complicates the matter in that the house was paid for. There was not any money owed on it. It sits on two lots. It was undervalued. It was sold for $680,000 when it's appraised of about $1.2 million. So it's a lot of things that just does not make sense. In the average home owner would not do that. So we don't know why this group is just set on doing that.
No, and it sounds like 30 pieces of silver to me. Don't know the value of what the land is, and actually, like, renegades don't really care. So that's the disheartening thing about this, is that I don't think they care.
Yeah, I have a question. Is it in the bylaws that retired firefighters can't be a member?
That's a great
No.
question, Haywood. It's in the bylaws that retired firefighters can be members, and all they
Whoa.
need to do is pay one half the dues that the regular members pay. And we tried to do that. We even deposited money directly into the account of the organization, and they refused to take it. We sent it certified mail so that they had to sign for it with a check enclosed. They wouldn't receive it, and then they said uh, we were not dues paying members. So, they've done everything that they possibly can, and the judge indicated that she see what was going on, and that's why she's even considering uh, rescinding the sale because it violated her orders, which was that all members had to vote before a sale can go forward, and that did not happen.
Is that money being held in escrow? What happened to the money? Did it transfer hands?
Let us take a break so I can change some things here. Let's take a break right now and come back and finish this up. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Rev Walden. We'll be right back.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
Market Street Shoes is happy to sponsor the Mother's Justice Show in honor of our mother, Jackie Higgins Rosebrook, who spent her life fighting for social justice, and also in honor of all mothers who fight for social justice. Market Street Shoes, fashionable footwear and apparel for life's everyday adventures, in the heart of Ballard since 2006. Visit marketstreetshoes.com.
Good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Rev Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. I want to bring my guests back in, and before I do that, I want to make sure you know there's a podcast later. And also go to virtueshealing.com. And look at the card consideration, because that's the card we want to talk a little bit about also, how we could be more considerate as we go through what we're going through here in America right now. So, hey, I want to bring my guys back on. I mean, they're no strangers. They all Seattleites, and I'm not. Mr. Rye is not, but a lot of the other ones are, or maybe they transplants like I am. Been here for many, many years. All right, fellas, let's go.
Hayward, go ahead. You want to answer Hayward's question?
Go ahead, Roberto, and I'll fill in anything that may be necessary.
Okay, yeah, Hayward. So the money was supposed to be held in escrow. And so what ended up happening is that they took some of the money out to pay the lawyer. And once we got back to court and we talked about that, the judge said, I thought that this money was supposed to be held in escrow. And so let's go ahead and get the money held, and so not do anything else with the money until this case is finalized. And so after she made that ruling, then there was another $30,000 that came out, and then another $6,000 that came out. And so, and that went to the lawyer. Macklin is his name. That's his last name, was Macklin. And so there's been some funny business that's been going on. And so we'll see how the judge deals with that kind of thing. But she's not getting the respect that she deserves as being the judge in this case. A sister, very nice braids, beautiful sister, very, very knowledgeable, very intelligent. She can explain everything to you that she's doing, why she's doing it. And these guys are just not respecting the rulings that she's coming up with.
What is the judge's name? Fancy. What is the name again?
Wiggs.
Oh,
Josephine Wiggs Martin. She hyphenates it sometimes.
Yeah. All right. That's good. That's just good to know.
Yeah.
You know.
If I may, Bird, is there any kind of a board of directors insurance that these people aren't going to be held liable for that outstanding money? Who's liable? Is it the membership? Is it the organization?
It's the organization that will be liable over the things that these four folks are doing, right? And so the whole organization is going to be liable for it, but it's going to be ridiculous. I mean, they're just not abiding by anything that she's saying.
And just this past Friday, that particular matter was mentioned in the court, and there's a motion being filed by our attorney indicating that that was held for this property should not have been used, and it should be returned. As a matter of fact, he had asked for it to be returned, so the lawyer said absolutely he was not returning his portion. And he was trying to make a distinction that he did not take anything from the organization. It was given to him, and he doesn't make those decisions. So they're starting to play games already, but the liability is going to be between them. What we want to see is the house rescinded, and then they can fight among themselves about how and where the money comes from, the insurance companies or the title company, or the lawyer has to return it or whatever. So it is a motion there that the lawyer should return the money because of should have been in escrow because the lawsuit had been filed long before they even sold the house.
Wow.
Is there an impeachment process, or how do you remove board members?
Well, you have to have members to do that. And since we are members and we have not been able to vote, we cannot do anything at this time until this is over with to get new leadership. And I think that's what it takes because, and we want to be clear, as Roberto was saying, it's not all of the Seattle Black Firefighters, but it is the executive board and the leadership of the organization, that is doing that. And so, whether it's Hilton Jones or Doug Johnson or Drew Andrews, Juliana, those persons are the people who have signed for the house to be sold, and they're making decisions absent the board, the entire membership input.
And Chris
I remember the pictures we put on
Doctor,
Facebook.
don't leave him out. Don't leave Chris Doctor out.
Oh, yes.
Well, one thing I just want to interject here. Consideration is is an acute awareness of other people's needs. And so we can see right now that there's no consideration for what's needed right now. And what's needed right now is them to just step up and and move on with this so that the Black Firefighters organization can absolutely be restored to wholeness like it was when you all was there. I mean, when we came from Seattle, everybody used to love Torchlight Parade. It was 100 strong
Yes.
black firefighters. And one of the things that I love about the black firefighters, growing up in segregation, if you went to a parade day, the firefighters never waved at us. and to see 100 black firefighters all on the metro bus, all on the
Fire engine.
on the engines, it was really rewarding to see that, and so the young people could see that. And to see that what happens when the water gets weak. See, and these people that came behind you all didn't understand the struggle.
Absolutely.
What was necessary to get you to that place. See. And history is repeating itself, right, Mr. Ryan? History is repeating itself in America.
Rev Harriett,
and so it's like, wow.
It's advantageous for people in the community to know who the culprits are, like putting their pictures on Facebook with their names, so when they go somewhere, people can ask them in the community, why did you do it?
Right.
I think that's a good idea to be able to do that, and to say, hey, we owe each other better. And especially for all of us who spent such a lifetime doing this work. I mean, it's incredible that, it's almost 50 years that we've been doing this work, and at least 35 for mothers. And that's a long time. It really is a long time to do the work for social justice, standing alone sometime. And I remember what was happening here when I came in 1975. So, so this is something to see this, and we'll just continue here. And I think Haywood is going to stay on with me. But if you have any last words here, next Monday, what you said, you want to announce that again and asking people to do what?
Absolutely.
Clarence,
Well,
do you want to mention next Monday again?
yes, absolutely. Next Monday, we don't know what time or whatever, but the decision is supposed to be announced, and it will not be in a court proceeding. It will be a written decision, so there should not be any ambiguities about it and misunderstanding. So she said she will issue a written decision and will be sent to our lawyer. And as soon as we get it, we're going to make it known to you and to everybody else because we expect it to be an affirmative decision.
Clarence, I want to ask you,
Mhm.
will Attorney Johanna Sim be able to get the request for the minutes and the names of the 60 people that Attorney Macklin indicated, that 60 people, members that voted for the sale of the property? Will there be an opportunity for him to get that to her before she makes the decision?
They have to do their last brief by Wednesday, and we've written to him and told him the exact same thing, that these things that were thrown out in court were incorrect and they should be corrected in case the judge is looking at making a decision based on the information that she's received. And if it's false information, that needs to be exposed with the showing of the records and the minutes and everything else to make sure that she's not making a decision based on deception.
And
Wow.
Bird,
Well,
did all the money just go to the attorney that was withdrawn?
No, not all of it. I think he got 200,000 of it, something like that, but not all of it. So there's still some money that is there, but he got a hefty chunk.
But only
Wow.
him.
Only him, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that we know.
Yeah,
That
Right.
we know. I
Yeah.
mean,
Right.
we haven't seen anything that says that, okay, the account is here and this is the way that it's going to stay. But I mean, since then, because since we found out that he got paid like that, then she said, do not take any more money out, and they still did. So we don't know where the account lies right now. We have no idea.
Right.
Can they be held in contempt
right,
of
well,
court?
Hey,
They are in contempt right now.
they're reckless. They're reckless. They have no respect for the rule of law, and that's what's happening right now. I mean, they're following the national example. One thing about leadership, that's why leadership is so important,
Right.
because other people will follow your standards.
That's right.
right.
And when you drop the ball and you lower your standards about integrity, courtesy, and all of these issues, then other people who are watching you, whether they're your children, your grandchildren, or the community, they will follow that. And that's why high integrity is necessary. I want to thank you all for coming on, though, and we'll keep the story alive, and I'm sure we'll hear something by next Monday afternoon or early Tuesday morning. All right?
Sure.
Well, thank you
All
for
right.
having me.
Thank you so much for having us. All right.
Thank you. And Haywood is going to stick around. Thank you
All
so
right.
much.
All right.
Well, we'll take a break right now and come back here, and Haywood and I will take it on. And another shout out to my granddaughter. Today is her birthday, occasion Salisbury, and guess what? She's 27 today. Nice age. All right. Yeah. So we'll take a break.
Market Street Shoes is happy to sponsor the Mother's Justice Show in honor of our mother, Jackie Higgins Rosebrook, who spent her life fighting for social justice, and also in honor of all mothers who fight for social justice. Market Street Shoes, fashionable footwear and apparel for life's everyday adventures, in the heart of Ballard since 2006. Visit marketstreetshoes.com.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
Well, good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show at 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. I got my friends on with me, and a fire engine just went by, and we were talking about the black firefighters in the house. So that's kind of like okay, let's keep this going. So thank you, Mr. Rye and Mr. Haywood for Evans for sticking around with me. So you all was going to be continuing to talk about the things that's happening not only in Seattle but down in Olympia.
Well, thank you, Reverend Walden. I'm glad to be here. You know, it's an interesting thing. My son Devon, he has a company called Klinko Benz, but him and his guys in the office, they literally follow the news like every day. They're watching CNN, and he was telling me, I just heard that President Trump's talking about opening Alcatraz.
I'm on radio.
Did you hear him talking about opening Alcatraz and then using military force to take Greenland?
Wow. Well, I just call it 1600 Pennsylvania Avenue because that street that has had many addresses, and it probably will still have many addresses, even though this president thinks that he's going to be there forever. Yeah. So it's not going to last.
Well, when he makes a statement saying that he doesn't have to uphold the Constitution, that he's above the Constitution, goodness, that's dangerous.
Well, it's not really dangerous because one thing about the American system, it's redundant. There's always a law behind a law that's behind a law that's behind another law. And so he doesn't understand that. It's redundant because the Constitution was written because of the after America got their independence from England, and they didn't want to have a monarchy. So that's how the Constitution is written. I'm not a legal scholar, but I do know it's redundancy there, and he might not understand redundancy. A lot of people don't. All laws has another law behind it. That's how America works. That's why they say it's a country of the rule of law, because every time you think you're going somewhere, you just back where you started from.
I'm glad you said that. Interestingly, if he keeps continuing doing what he's doing, can he be held in contempt of court?
Well, he could do a lot of things can happen because the Supreme Court could step in. I mean, see, it's all these things that we don't know about. The Supreme Court has a lot more power because they are appointed for life, and I'm sure some of those people are not satisfied, and they thought they were going to get one thing, and actually they got another. And so we just have to look at it and do the work that we've been doing in our communities for many, many years. The time now is necessary that we who understand this more than most people, because most people have not had a lived experience in segregation. And unless you had a lived experience in segregation, or your parents did, and they're willing to talk about it, don't nobody understand this system. But the people who were born and raised in segregation has understanding and actually have a roadmap in their head, no matter how they might maneuver right now or how they have aged in place or aged someplace else. But one thing about that, it leaves an indelible mark on who you are. And I mean, you can use some Tide all you want to, but it's not going to take it away. I don't care how much you watch it with Tide. That indelible mark will always be there. And that's something about having a lived experience. See? So, I mean, and so one of the things that, that I've loved throughout my lifetime is being a history buff. Because understanding history will set you free. Because America is written on a mythology that never happened. See,
I think he realizes that, and that's why he's trying to rewrite history.
But he doesn't have that much power.
He doesn't have that much power. He pulled out of the Naval Academy.
He doesn't have that much power. I think a lot of the people who voted for the individual, will have remorse. And they haven't remorse because everything he's doing, everything that the individual is doing, is raising taxes on the people who actually voted for him. And so I think we give way too much time to the individual. All our time should be actually on the fix. What are we going to do? What are we going to do for our young African American children who are not disciplined, who will throw a rock?
What about him signing an executive order to reinstate segregation?
Oh, well, that doesn't matter. The 14th Amendment, the 13th and 14th Amendment got us there. Okay, the 13th freed us unless you could commit a felony. And that's why, a lot more crimes was made felonies that used to be misdemeanors. Okay, and so once they made those felonies, you could be in Florida and have a million black people that can't vote.
Reverend
So,
Braxton spoke to that and talked about the chain gang. That's how chain gang came about.
well, that's
They
true.
incarcerate
That's
these
true.
black men because you're not supposedly working, put you on a chain gang, and now you rebuilt the South. Free roads, free
Well,
city.
yes,
Burlington
that's
was
true.
built by a chain
All
gang.
of that is true. But see, the ownership is on us. We didn't teach our children. See, history repeats itself no matter how you sound. I mean, no matter what. History repeats itself because we didn't teach what we know.
Mm.
And we thought, the collective we thought that integration was a way out. We didn't understand, the collective we, that we were leaving better behind. Our children wasn't locked up. They knew who they were. They weren't picking up guns to harm us. All of those
Reverend Harry,
things.
I'd just like to make one statement if I could. And
Go
my
right
daughter
ahead.
Angela and a group of individuals, including Tiffany Cross, Andrew Gillum, and others, went around to start a tour of 10 cities, predominantly black cities, and the local elected officials, the member of the Congressional Black Caucus, all about dealing with the issue we have with the White House and getting these people organized and also letting them know how important it is for the local elections because you hear 47 talk about returning power to the states and this other thing. And like you mentioned segregation. I was 10 years old when I moved to Seattle, Washington from Shreveport, Louisiana. Clarence Williams, who was on the call earlier, was also from Shreveport, Louisiana. So I know all about being segregation up close and personal, about the color, the white drinking fountain, about getting your stuff to go. And, that even happened during World War II, where we had Italian prisoners of war at Fort Lawton. Black soldiers would escort them down to Columbia City to an Italian restaurant. They wouldn't go in and be served.
Mm.
And it's like my father was telling me about when he was a Pullman porter, and A. Philip Randolph designated him to be one of the Northwest organizers for the Brotherhood of Sleeping Car Porters in 1948. And he tells me about the tales about when they had like German prisoners on the train. They did go into a restaurant and eat. The black guards had to guard them while they ate, and the black folks had to get their stuff to go. So I know about stepping off the side of the sidewalk or being in a line in a store and a white person come get in front of you or looking a white man in the face. My uncle almost broke my neck one day because I asked the white man why. I was about 5 or 6 years old. And he scared my uncle to death. My uncle grabbed me. So right away, I learned a lesson right then. Don't say nothing. At that age in Louisiana, don't say nothing to a white man. Don't look him in the face. If they walk down the sidewalk, get off the sidewalk.
Right.
You get on the bus, you put your nickel on the bus, and then walk around to the back. And sometimes the white bus driver would leave you. So I know all about what it means in terms of saying, because I lived that experience. So I know what it's like. I
Well, one thing, Mr.
went to
Wright,
West
that
Shreveport
it
Color
wasn't all
Government
equal.
School.
See, it wasn't all equal. I was raised in an all black township called Goldsboro. It's the oldest black township in America. It was founded in 1892. And so it's not all equal. I know we had everything we needed, except for going downtown to to get some shopping done, but in the post office and stuff. And so it's not all equal. And so what I saw growing up as black independence, that people knew how to do something, and we didn't have to interact with other people every day. We had our churches, our schools, and that type of thing. See, so I think that's what we always have to you realize is that regional things was different. But but again, we have to consider the fact that we've been here so long, and it took 240 years to season us to try to make a slave out of us, and that's why history absolutely is important. Because he who knows history understands that if you don't understand history, it will repeat itself. And why is it repeating itself now? It's because we don't understand. We do not understand what is happening, and again, you must teach the young people. So I'm going to always be hopeful. I mean, I'm always be hopeful because I know that we can rise. I mean, I'm not afraid of this. I mean, I'm not afraid because we have enough money in our communities collectively to support ourselves.
You're right,
And we
Mary.
keep wanting to go to a door that does not want us to come to that door. So I think it's just incumbent upon us to understand,
And the
that.
biggest thing right now, the hypocrisy is that they don't want DEI. Yet, when you have 10 young brothers in college running up and down the basketball court or on the football field or the
Yeah.
NBA or the NFL, the same companies that say they oppose the DEI are paying money to sponsor those sporting events. The other
But
thing we got to do
but
is we,
Mr. Wright, this is where you and I disagree. I mean, because really and truly, I mean, all these black kids can go to HBCU. We need to keep those open. And number one, and as my son says, we gave up the only sports we ever owned to integrate, and that sports was what? Baseball. I mean,
yeah.
if we're not there, then they're not going to make the money.
So here's the point is my point is that's the same leverage we have to have those players ask at the university how many how many contracts do black companies have with this university, or the Seattle Seahawks. We need the Seattle Seahawks to go to the city of Seattle, King County, in the state and advocate for us to have contracts. We also
Wow.
need to have these same institutions where these black folks are making this money. The University of Washington need to make a certain deposit in a black bank. The Seattle Seahawks need to do the same thing. The NBA, the NFL, blacks are generating all that revenue. That's the way we can participate, by making sure that the players, it's like Kellen Collins company, they took a knee. Now need to get up off the knee and say, hey, what are you doing? I talked to Lenny Wilkins and Spencer Haywood about this already. That the Emirates, their logo and their name is on all these NBA courts. How come we can't go over there and develop some business relationships? 200 to 300 million Chinese watch the NBA every week. So we have something that's appealing to everyone, is generating revenue for the players. They should be paid. But on the other hand, let's say if you like these players so much, how come you're not doing business with their families? Okay, how come you're not putting no money in black banks? There's some leverage that we do have, because without these brothers, like this, they don't want no DEI. I bet you they won't have no DEI in college or professional sports, because they ain't gonna pay to see a bunch of people that can't play. So I'm
Well,
saying that's
do
some
you
leverage
remember the
we do
coach in
have.
Alabama? Do you remember? You remember the coach in Alabama who ran the black quarterback years ago to change the whole.
No, that was a Southern Cal player from Alabama that beat Alabama to death. And Bear Bryant said that's the last time they're gonna take one
Right.
of mine and beat mine.
That's right.
That's when
That's
he
right.
opened the door
That's
for
right.
black
That's
players.
right.
Exactly.
So you and I, we one thing about having you on, and what I really like about it, is that sometimes we agree. And I'm not willing to. For me and the people that I'm with, I'm just not willing to go to that door. To continue that going down that road, and that's okay. It's going to
Well,
take all of us.
well,
I mean,
Reverend
it's going to
Walden,
take
see,
all of
my
us.
biggest concern is him trying to dismantle the Department of Education.
Oh, you know
You
what?
have these certain red states who are going to control the education process. Our
Well,
children going to public school,
listen.
getting books that take slavery and say that
Hey,
it
you know what?
was a training program.
Come on, Haywood. You know what? We know how to do Saturday schools. We know we have everything we need within us to move it through this event. We still thinking about us and they. We have everything we need, to move through this event. And we'll take a break in about 3 minutes, about 2 minutes, and then we'll shift it on to hope and the things that we can do, because we are equipped. We are equipped. We built America. I mean, we made America great ourselves. And everything they use today came from the mighty Negro. We invented it. So I don't understand people's anxiety about this, because we have what it takes. I mean, we have the wisdom. We have the strength.
I totally agree with you. My concern is who's writing that history, who's teaching
No,
that
no, no.
history,
We
and
got the
making sure
history. You
that the
got the
kids getting
history,
proper
Haywood.
education.
Haywood, you got the history. I got the history. You're going to recall what your grandmother said. I mean, we got everything we need. All we need to do is put the boots on the ground and say, let's go. As my son Chakundi say, let's go. I mean, really,
No,
that's all we need is the let's go. And that's it. Let's take a break here, our last break, and come back, because this is so rewarding for me right now. I mean, I love this interchange, because I want to be let's go. Okay. All right. Let's take our last break here, and we'll come back and talk about let's go.
Yeah.
You listen to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm so excited. We're taking a break, and we'll be right back.
Market Street Shoes is happy to sponsor the Mother's Justice Show in honor of our mother, Jackie Higgins Rosebrook, who spent her life fighting for social justice, and also in honor of all mothers who fight for social justice. Market Street Shoes, fashionable footwear and apparel for life's everyday adventures, in the heart of Ballard since 2006. Visit marketstreetshoes.com.
The Mother's Justice Show is brought to you by H.G. Walden and the Virtues Healing Circles. Join us for Wisdom and Wellness with Reverend Walden, a monthly virtual and in-person healing circle that focuses on community healing and growth. Learn more at virtueshealing.com. That's virtueshealing.com. Also, be sure to join our healing group on Facebook. Again, visit us at virtueshealing.com today.
Did you know if you're an adult living with asthma or COPD, getting sick with pertussis may result in severe complications? Pertussis, or whooping cough, is a serious respiratory illness. Vaccination is the best way to help protect against pertussis. Speak to your healthcare provider to ensure you are up to date on your Tdap vaccination. Learn more at lung.org.
Oh, good afternoon. You're listening to the Mother's Justice Show on 1150 AM KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's my joy to be on the air. I'm just having a great time today. I want to bring my guests back in. I mean, my longtime folks here. I call them folks. Haywood, Mr. Haywood Evans, and Mr. Eddie Rapp. These are my folks, as the young people say. All right, let's continue this conversation, but let's go down another path here. Let's talk about hope. Let's talk about persevering. Let's talk about reliability. Let's talk about service and being steadfast, because that's what you all are. You're steadfast, right?
Absolutely.
All right, then. So don't we have what we need? So come on, let's just go inward right now. You know, we know how to we have compassion. Look at us. We have confidence. We have consideration. And look, we even have courtesy, right? So don't we have everything we need?
Oh, we definitely have everything we need. It's reminding me of a gentleman. I know his first name was Bob or Robert up in Mount Zion. He was teaching a class to these young people. Mm-hmm. He was a retired banker. And he was teaching them about buying stock. And these kids were doing super, super well.
Right.
So just like you're alluding to, I think if we had the proper classes in our community, that we provide the history lesson.
But we have the roadmap. See, our ancestors left us a roadmap. They did. Harriet Tubman, all of these people who came before us, Harriet Tubman, they didn't have KKNW. They did not. Okay. So let's look at the roadmaps.
Well,
and if we look at the roadmaps, we will absolutely excel in excellence, because they did excellent to help us to put the pieces down. We're good, right, Mr. Ryan?
Yeah, I want to just indicate that some of the things that we're talking about, some of these things are actually happening. One is the MLK Gandhi Empowerment Initiative, which is a technology training program with the latest forms of technology, AI, data security, cloud. There's been 50 graduates already. It's been held at New Beginnings Christian Fellowship in Kent. There's been 50 people who have graduated already, several in the intern program. We have currently right now, including a Saturday cohort, 142 people in participants in the program right now, with a waiting list of about 200. So, and this is the jobs for today and for tomorrow. So just want to let you know that I am still on the battlefield, and I have stepped it up to another level, working with some people who are technology experts who are doing the training. And it's like I said, it is at New Beginnings Christian Fellowship. One cohort is Monday and Wednesdays, Tuesdays and Thursdays, and the others are Saturday. And we'll also be doing a couple of forums with Africatown and also with Community Passageways, which will be off of campus, won't be at New Beginnings, but at their sites. So that would be like another 100 people. And so we also recently had a boot camp that went for 4 days. We were going to be dealing with the University of Washington, Bothell, but the vice president who we were making the arrangements with left without telling us. So we're doing that job instead of UW Bothell. That's being performed at a place called WeWork in Bellevue. So the main campus is New Beginnings Christian Fellowship, and when folks get out of there and get ready to go up another level, they'll be going to WeWork Technology Lab over in Bellevue. So that is the contributions that I'm involved with right now. And we have a number of members of the clergy who are also involved in terms of referring people. And I think right now, First AME has had 21 students come out of that church. We did go to our churches first, and it's open to everyone. And we're definitely encouraging our folks to take advantage of the opportunity. People who met the income criteria were getting $1,000 a month. And I'll be waiting now for the governor's budget and for my good friend Marie Carosa and Corbett Mosesley from the Department of Commerce, because I know $65 million was in the budget for the community reinvestment project money. But then again, it was $200 million last time, $65 million this time. And then for some reason, we had a black legislator that sponsored legislation to get $100 million to the police. I guess everybody need money, but we go from 200 to 65, and then all of a sudden the governor says no new spending, but one of our folks can put up 100 million for the police, and then at the same time not have one of them step up and put the money in for a reparation study is kind of discerning.
Right. Let's talk about what we can do.
Yes.
We're reliable. Like I said, steadfast. Actually, we have kindness for one another. Actually, we have the power of discernment. And also we have the power to absolutely not be concerned about all this other stuff. I just think we need to refocus on something. We can give them grace. We can have unity. Because how are we going to make it? If we were in Mississippi and other places, what would we be talking about? Because they wouldn't be part of the conversation. And so I just think that we need to think about how we can maneuver and do this, like they did. How did they get the 250,000 people out to the March on Washington? I think we need to study the road maps. 250,000 people out on August 28th, 1963. We got a road map. We got a road map, and I just want to, one of the things I wanted to do.
Commemoration Committee will be having an event like we did every day for the last 7 years.
That's right. That's right.
Having something on August 28th. Which would be the 60, what would that be? 62 years, Hayward?
Yeah, 62. Yeah,
62 years.
Well, hey, that's the year I graduated from high school, and we're still in this. Might not be at it as much as we could then, but we're still in it. Also, we have to look at how we're going to forgive one another. That's a good virtue. Because we have people all the time, you're talking about things that's happening. And so we have to strengthen who we are. Because if we strengthen who we are, we're going to make it through this.
Rev Harriett, you going to forgive Supreme Court Justice Clarence Thomas?
Well, his wife might help him out. I don't know. His wife might help him out. Hey, we only got a few more minutes here, and I want to give a big shout out to my granddaughter, Acacia May. Like I say, she's 27 today. 5'5", the Cinco de Mayo. This is also another famous day that's going on right now for the Latino people, and we're glad for that, and also about unity, because it's our unity that's going to get us through. Absolutely,
Happy
unity.
Cinco de Mayo. As a matter of fact, I went up to El Centro de la Raza on Saturday for their Cinco de Mayo celebration.
Right.
And it was 72 years ago that we occupied Beacon Hill School.
That's right.
Got it to be El Centro de la Raza. And
that's right.
Who's the father of your? Which son of this? Who is that? Omari's daughter?
Yeah, that's Omari. My youngest children. My youngest child has my oldest grandchildren.
Well, right on, Omari. Congratulations, Papa. I know the feeling.
Oh yeah, and one thing I can say, all my grandkids except my youngest one are all college graduates, and getting ready to work on their masters.
You and your sons. That's why that is.
Well, I just did the best I could coming out of segregation. We believed in excellence, and excellence is expected here, and so those are the things that has gotten us. I just really depend on the things that got me through. That's all, And I tell everybody, I'm still country. I just live in the city. I just live in the city. And I'd love, my biggest motto, the only thing that's going to change the world, Haywood and Mr. Rabb, is love. Everything else has failed.
Yeah.
If
That's
war
good.
could have got us, if war could have got us to peace by now, for as many people has been killed in 2,000 years, don't you think we'd be at peace? The
Well, all
only
you gotta do
thing.
is look over at the Holy Land right now and see
That's
what's
right.
happening.
That's right. That's right. And the Palestine people has been on that land since 2000. I mean, since the year, in the beginning.
In the beginning.
2,000 years ago, they were called the Palestine. They were Coptics. See,
Just like Jesus, a Palestinian Jew.
That's right. That's right. That's right. See, and so it's our history that we have to keep going, and we have to be the keepers of our history, and to make sure that we know who we are, where we came from. And I mean, one of the things that for me personally, from now on, I am an African living in America.
African descendant of the United States enslaved.
Yeah,
Well,
see, I'm an
Since my
African
people built
living.
the
Descendants of the
country,
enslaved.
since my people built the country, I'm more American than anybody here other than Indians.
You know what? But see, I'm African because that
I'm
African
of
blood is
African
going to get us
descent,
up.
but my people built this country. I'm owning it.
Well, that's fine. I mean, and that's why we're having a good conversation here today. Is because really it'll take all of us. And I'm an African living in America. And I'm going to keep hold of that African heritage because that's going to be my get up piece. That's going to be the strength that gets me going as I move through life, and to keep things going. And I'm just so excited. I mean, I haven't been on the air for a while, and you can, and I'm not perfect yet,
Amen.
but God isn't through with me yet. Isn't that amazing? That's what we always say in the black community. God
You
ain't through
sound
with me
good,
yet.
upbeat, and you very confident. So if there's anything other than you needed some rest, it all worked.
You look good, Reverend.
Oh, well, thank you. Hey, thank you for that. It's like, hey, a life is a journey, right? Right,
Amen.
Mr. Ryan, life is a journey.
That's it. That's
And
it.
and sometimes the journey catches up with you at a later age. So, but this is so good. It's glad to be here, and we'll talk again. And I want to thank Eric. He's always so patient and so kind to me. I always have been. So as we sign off right now, remember it's a podcast, and I'm being honored tomorrow at the City Council with a proclamation. Anybody want to show up and thank me and mothers for all the work we've done in this town for 35 years? Be there tomorrow, be square. All right, you
What
listen
time?
to the Mother's Justice Show on 11:50 a.m. KKNW. I'm your host, Reverend Walden. It's been my greatest joy today. Take care. Have a good week.